Hey everyone, Melissa here. I am rocking my nerd glasses this evening. I wanted to talk about some common misconceptions about meditation, at least some that I started with. So, the first one was that, it's easy. Second, that you have to be sitting down and you just have to stop your mind. That's the whole point, is you're trying to stop your mind. You're just trying to shut it off. These are, in my experience, completely untrue. The whole point of meditation is to be present. Mindfulness is meditation. It's allowing yourself to be exactly where you are. It doesn't matter if it's good feelings, it's bad feelings, it's wholly present right where you are. And as far as easy goes, well, I guess that's how you define easy. I'm finding that for me, meditation it's organic. It's always evolving. Each time I sit down on my mat or I'm in a yoga pose, it's being in that moment. That's what meditation is being in that moment, even in the poses that suck, that in the moments when my shoulders hurt, I just want to put my arms down. I just want to be done with whatever pose I'm in. Being with that uncomfort is meditation. I had a really good conversation today with one of my really good friends, and we were talking about how easy it is for us to get wrapped up in, well, am I doing it right? Am I making any progress? And I think that's another aspect of meditation that is either not talked about enough, or I just didn't go to the right places to find the information. You are doing it right. You are progressing. Your effort is more than enough when you sit down and you meditate, however that looks. It doesn't just have to be you sitting down and sitting in silence. That's totally fine if that's your get down. That doesn't have to be the only way you meditate, though. I'm finding that I meditate in almost everything that I do. I, for a long time, didn't realize whenever I sat down to color, I was meditating because I was completely focused on whatever I was coloring. And yes, I still color. Adult coloring books are totally my jam. I am totally on board for that. The thing is that with internal work, any kind of healing modalities, however you're doing that, however that shows up for you, there isn't the same kind of measurable progress line. You know, when you work out, you can take the before pictures, and then when you reach whatever your goal is, you can take more pictures and you can see the differences, right? Internal work, you don't necessarily have those same physical markers or things that you're like, oh my God, yeah, okay. It's the small incremental moments. Those are your progress milestones. One of the things that I've started doing is when I'm sitting in a particularly hard pose, whether it's, meditation where I've got my arms out and I just want to drop my arms, or it's stretching with my legs out in a V and my pelvis hurts, my inner thighs hurts because it's really tight. Those moments I find it easier for me to reflect on just how far I've come, because when I started originally, those poses were incredibly challenging and I just wanted to get out of them. I would feel angry, I would feel enraged, I couldn't handle it. And that's another aspect I think that isn't talked about either, is meditation is sitting with you. So all of the stuff you want to avoid, all of the stuff you don't want to look at, that's what you're sitting with. And it's unspeakably precious, those moments where you can sit with you and actually look at what your needs are, where are you, what aspects of yourself are like, hey, I need some help, I need your attention. That's what meditation is too, is sitting with yourself, being present with what you have going on in this moment. Yeah, some of those moments suck, some of them are rough, some of them you just want to get out of, and that's okay too. Just stay with it. Be with yourself in that moment, because you are unspeakably precious and you matter. Those aspects of yourself that want your attention, those are gems. That's how you grow. Those are the things that are ready to heal. that attention grabbing, hey, I'm here, that's pivotal. Sit with it, see what it has to share with you. Know that you are making progress. So when you feel like you're not, take a moment to think back, okay, so when I started this, how did I react? And see if that helps you kind of gauge where your progress is. That's what I've started doing. That's how my goalposts have kind of changed and grown. And again, meditation is organic. It grows with you. So the way that you approach something when you first start, whatever healing modality that is, however you start with your meditations, you're going to start differently than where you necessarily end, whether that's because you add a different type of meditation or you completely change. You're going to change and adapt. And even if you outgrow a certain type of meditation, that's okay too. That was only needed to get you to the place that you are, to let go of it so that you can pick up another form of meditation. Whether that's tapping, it's Kundalini yoga, it's yoga by itself, it's yin yoga, it's doing dishes, it's coloring, however that looks to you. Something else that I did want to talk about, and again, I don't know if I just didn't know the right places to go for this or it's just not talked about. When you come up against those walls and you have those patterns that you're like, I just cannot get through this, whatever healing modality you believe in, you trust, this is where you get to actually apply it. You get to put it into play. You get to show yourself, okay, so this is what I say I believe, I'm laying it down right here. Last year I had many opportunities. I'm sure a lot of you had the same thing, where I was like, okay, so I believe in tapping, I believe in the work by Byron Katie, I believe in Kundalini yoga, I'm gonna apply these things in these moments that I'm struggling. And I'm finding that I have to layer my meditations because they all give me aspects that strengthen each layer. So when I started doing the work by Byron Katie, I struggled with certain aspects of it. I couldn't, it didn't feel like it was enough on its own. So I added tapping to it to help kind of move that stuck energy. And then I went deeper with my Kundalini yoga practices. It seemed to help integrate all of these different aspects deeper into what my goal was. And now I completely just lost my thread. So where was I? It's gone. All right, well, I guess I said what I needed to say about it then, since it's disappeared. I did just want to bring up these misconceptions because I feel like these seem to come up a lot in conversations, and it doesn't have to be only one way to meditate, and it doesn't have to be you sitting in a pose for 20 minutes completely silent. That's totally cool if that's your jam. Rock out, or rock out to silence, however you want to do it. That's totally fine. You are making progress. It's just your progress inside may look completely different than your progress when you have a physical activity such as working out or losing weight or biking or hiking. You know what I mean? Those are different measures. So try to see it as, give yourself that room to allow the growth to happen and to start to notice those little moments, because with inner work, at least in my experience, I'm finding all of those little moments are huge. They're really what actually make my growth that much bigger. For example, I had a block with doing this job, and I had a certain job that I was doing, and I was really struggling with this block that I had, and I knew that all I had to do was get on the other side of it. It's just getting through that block it felt impossible. And I had come up to this block numerous times throughout my life. It was not an unnew I knew this block well. I was familiar with it, and I thought I had tried absolutely everything to get through it. So when after all of this meditation, all of the different types of meditation that I've applied, I was finally able to baby step my way past the block. Now, getting past the block was tiny. I mean, all I really had to do was, baby step, break it down into steps. I'm just gonna do this, I'm just gonna do this, I'm just gonna do this. And then once I actually did it, it felt massive. I mean, it was just this tiny little thing, right? I just had to baby step my way through it. Super easy, easy peasy, right? Yeah, easy peasy now that I'm on the other side of it. And making those baby steps are tiny, but once I got past that block and I healed that block, it felt like I just exploded open. So just you are doing great. All of your meditation practices do have an effect, they do matter. And I just wanted to bring up a couple of these points because I feel like they come up a lot. So I hope this helped some of you. Feel free to drop me a note if there's something that you've come up against that I didn't even mention, I'm completely unfamiliar with. We can talk about it.